I just read an article that will give you the answer to how many muscles are involved for a single individual to smile. It says between 12 to 17 muscles are required for a person to smile. Seems like a weird thing to Google, right? But I did for a reason. Um, I've been watching the random videos that pop up about the situation in Gaza and the starvation that's setting in. And, it lands in different ways for different people. It should affect us all the same, but it lands on different people in different ways. So the world is silent, primarily, especially religious people, especially religious evangelical Christian people. They are mostly silent. I think about events in times past, and we hear all the time that if you cut us, we all bleed red. We're all the same inside. Yeah, while that's true, usually that's used when the overall situation is bad for everyone and you feel like you have to stick together in order to survive. But then when things are cool and great, there's no threat, then no. The reestablishment of the perceived hierarchy of superiority is invoked again by those who feel that they are superior, those that wish and hope for a modern day fiefdom. I think about the images that we are often most familiar with when it comes to starvation, the small bodies of infants, adults as well, but it hits you a little harder when you see the small bodies of children that are deep into malnutrition, and they're starving. You cut us and we all bleed. We're all the same on the inside. Well, right down to the pot belly, the bloated belly, the pronounced every notch on the spinal cord that's visible when these children primarily become gaunt and emaciated. The same sad look on their face and the hollowness in the eyes. And 12 to 15, 12 to 17 muscles required to smile. There's no smiling situation anyway. But even if it were, they don't have the energy to do so. If as a conscious sentient being with a conscience, if this does not bother you to the point of heartbreak, it can't just deeply disturb you. If this doesn't bother you to the point of heartbreak, I don't know really if you can be classified among the human. Areligious people who are not bound by any particular sets of beliefs, they have more of a conscience and a more of a heart than most of the people that run around yelling from the mountaintops that they believe in God and that they are children of God, and people running around with, the big crosses hanging around their necks, the big Star of Davids, the big whatevers hanging around their necks. it's just indicative of what we have become. Not what we are becoming, but what we have become as a nation. I've made videos in the past about why your children don't want your religion. Well, this is yet another reason. It hits people and it lands differently with people. And with people who look like me, yeah, it lands differently because logically it makes you realize that if these were children, if these were blonde-haired, blue-eyed children in any European country, in Italy or in France or anywhere else, they would tear this planet down, would burn it down to the foundation in order to prevent it. But somehow, little kids in East and West Africa, and apparently little kids in Gaza, it's not the same. You know, don't you get it? We're not human to these people. And as I indicated before, you know, when things are tough, people have the tendency to want to stand together and combine forces right until the threat is over with. So I get it, you know. There's been interactions between the Black community, African American community, however you want to term the labels that they throw on us, between the community of people who look like me here in America and between people in Gaza. And yeah, I get it. The religious hypocrisy is just, it's boiling over and bubbling on all three sides, you know, with the eschatology of a certain amount of people within the three religions. Christianity, you know, their Messiah returns in order to make all Jews into pork-eating Christians through conversion. In Judaism, they have a Messiah that comes back and confirms that everyone else that's not Jewish is goyim. They're part of the cattles, and you know, everyone will be their servant somehow. And of course, in Islam, the al-Kitab, the people of the book who don't believe in Muhammad or Islam, we're the worst of creatures, and we're going to get ours in the end too. I get it. I'm not blind to these things, but at the end of the day, you have to teach stupidity, whether it's to a child in Gaza, or whether it's to some kid with side locks in Crown Heights, or whether it's to Billy Bob sitting on the back of the John Deere teaching his little blonde-haired, blue-eyed boy the hierarchy and how things work. This is a problem. Nobody wants to talk about it. Nobody wants to get canceled. No one wants to show up to their job to find out that not only is there no job, there's no company anymore. You know, no one wants to be stopped at the border trying to visit places because the country has checked your social media page to see if you've criticized them. No one wants to be caught under the crosshairs of trying to come back here into the United States, do you hear me? And get stopped at the border, and you can't come back into the place where you were born. Why? Because the United States government is policing your criticism of the modern state of Israel. Meanwhile, Sundays, from sea to shining sea, people are clapping and they're amening to their tax dollars, killing people through slow starvation, sniping people in the head, sniping pregnant women. Somehow it's okay. Somehow it's okay. And here we are, the symbol of supposedly the faith of this great nation, the fixation on a cross and on a little dead white man hanging on a cross, a fixation on the method of death as opposed to the sacrifice and the actual resurrection and the return to life that's supposed to change us, that's supposed to fundamentally change us from the inside and eventually outward. but it's not the case. If you're quiet, like I have been for a good long while, you are complicit. You are complicit. Who's going to man up, woman up? How long before people say enough? Killing like this is basically for sport now. And it's a bad look, to say the very least. It's a bad look. It's time to wake up. הגיע הזמן להתעורר. That's it. He who has an ear, let him hear.